really, really great to be here. I am so excited about AI and all the amazing things it's doing to help small businesses and big businesses streamline their social media, make it easier, automate it, and actually it's about using it in the right way, though, which is what I'm really going to be talking about today. But I live in England. I'm originally from Kentucky. I would love for you guys to leave in the chat where you are around the world, and also maybe how you're feeling about AI and how you're feeling about social media. And I know everyone has differing opinions about that, about both of those things. But I'll tell you a little bit about me. My name is Katie Noakes. My company is called KN Comms, and I started off at Saatchi & Saatchi, and I handled all the press relations and big PR and marketing stunts. And then I went to the BBC, and that was much more about corporate affairs and engaging with opinion formers. And then I started my business in 2018, and I help all sorts of businesses across the world with their social media, with their strategy, learning how to, and my big focus is getting people to use video now online and AI and all these amazing tools to get out there in the right way to target those really important audiences. And I love a metaphor, as you're about to find out, but what I want you to think about AI is the sous chef to supercharge your social media content kitchen. So you are the chef, but the AI is the sous chef, doing all of those boring jobs, automating all those things that you don't need to be doing. But you still need to be the one that sets that vision out, that you're the creative here. But I get it. Social media sometimes can feel like a chaotic kitchen where everything is on fire. You're trying to do way too many things. You're expected to serve up fresh content daily. There's no time to prep, and you're always in the weeds, and the idea pantry feels empty. And you're stuck washing dishes, aka replying to endless DMs. So this is where AI can come in and really make a huge difference. But again, AI is just the sous chef. You can't leave it all up to the sous chef. You are the head chef. So AI is brilliant at prepping the ingredients like a sous chef. So going and gathering all of those ingredients and shopping, the chef doesn't need to be doing that. The sous chef can do that. So AI is great at gathering data on trends, on topics, on audience preferences, doing all the research. Is brilliant for that. So it's gathering the ingredients that you need to create that amazing masterpiece. AI is great at ensuring consistency, but the chef has to decide what is that brand voice, what is that style. Sous chef then can make sure that like in a kitchen, each dish meets the restaurant's quality and style, that there's a consistent brand tone, there's a consistent style, and there's a consistent quality across every post. Also, we want to be using AI to speed up all those repetitive tasks. So all that automation, all the things that actually you don't need to be doing, scheduling social media posts, getting people what they need, sending links, basic responses, those kind of things. That can all be done through AI. Doing kind of initial content drafts. That's great. Like, asking for ideas, that kind of thing. But you still need to kind of, yes, you still need to be strategic about how you're engaging, who you're engaging with, having genuine conversations still. But you need to use automation if it's just like in your social media, if someone wants some information about a course or a book or wants to buy a book, you really want a message sent directly, instantly to that person, giving them that link so they have that right away, or that lead magnet. But you still need to be, having conversation as well. So it's really important that the chef retains the vision. They're the ones that decide the quality of the food, the standard of the food. They're the ones who decide, what type of clientele they want to come into the restaurant. That's all the same things you do as a business owner. but we need AI to help, to elevate the presentation, to enhance your visuals. I mean, there's so many amazing, great tools out there to help you create great social media videos and content. But use AI to help you, source hashtags, suggest captions, and help you create a beautiful social media. And in some ways, AI can do things better than you, like spotting trends and topics and keeping that tone consistent and repurposing content. AI is brilliant for that. Taking a long form like blog or piece of text that you wrote, that's in your tone, that's in your voice, and then it's great to kind of plug that into something like Claude or ChatGPT or something, and ask them to repurpose content, or go back and look at a video that was really successful, and then plug that into an AI system and ask them to create something like it that's different and suggest, a new visual or a new video for that. Rewrite some of that. It's brilliant at that, and it's probably better at it than you. And yeah, again, managing FAQs, customer sort via chatbot, all of that, it's probably going to be faster and quicker than you. But this is where people go wrong. Copy pasting generic content. Like, you do not want to just put in generic, prompts and then get generic content and answers back. So because what happens is then you lose authenticity. It sounds like everyone else. Also, over automation. You can't automate 100%. So over automation without intent, that is really not great. You got to keep it human. So, you have got to feed into the AI systems, the real stories, your lived experience, the emotion that you want, the brand story. That's your secret sauce. So you've got to give AI the right ingredients. And you've got to stay safe as well in that kitchen. So it's the same thing when and I think some people don't realize this, is that, if it's not kind of a closed system, you put stuff out on a ChatGPT, that goes out to the world. So you've got to be careful of your intellectual property. You've got to be careful you're not putting sensitive data out there or information. Also, AI many times is not correct. So, when you're asking for for any kind of data, you always need to fact check it, because they can get it wrong, and it's called hallucinations. So it's, a lot of these AI systems they're basically looking for patterns, sourcing mentions. So it's really great for suggesting creative ideas, that kind of thing. But if you are looking for facts and data, you always need to check it, because it may not be accurate. And also, it could be out of date data. So you've always got to check anything like that. But it's really good for brainstorming ideas. And like I said, repurposing. So the key, though, to creating really authentic social media content is by feeding AI really great information. So you want, and this takes some work, and I always, I do a 6-week social media course, and we work on creating a digital strategy, and these are the things that we go through so that you can actually just upload that into your chosen AI system. So things that are important is your brand voice, your tone, the personality, how you naturally speak. You want to be crystal clear on who you're targeting, your audience, who you're speaking to, their needs, their pain points, their issues. And you need to understand your brand story, your values. That all needs to be fed into AI. I want you to be thinking about your customer and what their outcome is. What is the end benefit of whatever your service or product is? And then I want you to plug that in as well. So really kind of narrowing down as well your goals, your ambitions, the platforms that your audience is on. AI can help you investigate some of those things, but you need to be plugging that in, and then so that they have all of the information so that you get really authentic responses back. And also real life examples. So you need to kind of add in what really gives add in those testimonials, add in those case studies, add in those personal anecdotes. That is going to make your content so much more authentic. And then I'm skipping ahead. Okay, so then you want to add in any website links. So again, you want to just give them as much information and say, use this as background. So website links, white papers, strategy docs, blogs, any kind of information that you can start to train AI about who you are, what your business is, or who you're trying to be. So even if, you're not a business exec with 30 years experience, you can say you want to be perceived that way, so that actually the content you create makes it sound like that you are a top expert in what you're doing. You need to be really specific about what you want, though. Do you want to create a social media post to drive traffic to a website, to announce a product launch? I'll give you an idea of a prompt in a minute, but the more detail, the more specific you are, the better quality and higher quality that post is going to be. And yeah, give it, a longer blog, ask to shorten it, create 5 LinkedIn posts, create 5 Instagram posts, create a video idea for TikTok from this. So all of that are perfect things, all the perfect ingredients to feed your social or AI to get really great social media content from it. So the perfect ChatGPT prompt, or there's lots of other ones that like Claude or whatnot, but this will give you an idea of how detailed that prompt should be. And just like this beautiful cake, you need to there are many layers to that prompt. There's a lot of detail. The more detail, the more delicious that final product is going to be. To take my metaphor way too far. So, again, this, you need to have even probably more detail than this, but you might say, I'm a senior level business expert with over 20 years experience, I'm targeting. And then I want you to tell me everything that you know about that target audience, their description, their age, their pain points, their job, their interests. And then I want you to say, I want you to help me create 10 Instagram or LinkedIn posts, but you should be specific. Platforms are really different. So, is it a TikTok video or is it a LinkedIn post? You need to be very specific. And you want to say, this needs to showcase my expertise and name what you want to be known as. So I want to instantly connect with my audience by touching on these pain points. Pain points are the way in. So any issues that your audience has, that's the way you're going to connect with them. So you need to make sure AI knows what those issues are, what those pain points are. And then I want you to ask for clever hooks that attract attention instantly. You only have about 3 seconds to get people to pay attention to that post, that social media post. So ask for clever hooks that get engagement immediately, and compel the audience to read more. Ask for ways to get the audience to keep reading or to watch the end of that video. I need to know your tone. Is it professional yet friendly? Is it engaging? Is it funny? Do you have a dry sense of humor? So how do you come across? You need to make sure you're training AI so they know exactly how you are. And you want to, again, aim at what type of clients, and you want to include a call to action. You want to make sure, suggest lead magnets or ways to get someone to actually comment or ask for more information. That's all really crucial. And then you want to upload any documents, strategy papers. You want to add website URLs to say, please look at this for background. And then, you want to ask for hashtag ideas for visuals, video content. Well, I'll show you in a second some of the an example of some responses you might get back from ChatGPT. So maybe it's a hook, like most small businesses don't fall, they stall. And then they give you some ideas for captions and a call to action and ways to get people to engage. So questions like, where's your business stuck right now? So again, it's giving you lots of different elements. You don't want to copy and paste this, though. You want to take it, tweak it, make it sound like you, but you can generate some really brilliant creative ideas from this. It might also then give you some visual ideas. So, if we were looking at that pain point of growth shouldn't feel like a grind, then they might give you some video ideas. You walking through a calming environment, talking directly to camera about business shouldn't burn you out. Or maybe an image, different images, a split image. One side shows hustle mode with a cluttered desk, the other strategic flow. So, there's lots of different ideas. And again, if they give you some ideas and you're not quite sure, or you want to tweak it, or you want it to be more professional or more corporate, then ask it. Say, rewrite this. It needs to feel more professional, or it needs to be a bit edgier. needs to be a bit punchier. So keep asking it until it feels right, until it feels like you. But it's a really great way to get ideas, and it's easier than starting from a blank page. Again, you want to ask for, so we need engagement. I should say that first. Engagement, and you're going to hear me say this like 100 times in the next half an hour. So you really want to get people to engage on your posts. If people aren't engaging on your social media, it's not getting out there to anyone. So we need to give people a reason to engage, to comment, to share, to tag a friend, to save that post. So asking AI for ideas on how you can get people, whether it's questions, to get people to comment. So asking questions, or maybe poll ideas. Polls are quick and easy, and you can now use polls on pretty much every platform. So that's an easy way to get people to engage. So it's really crucial that we get engagement. There are a ton of top AI tools for your social media kitchen. And my advice is, don't try to, tackle them all. I'm going to give you a whole list of ideas and there are so many more, and they change every day, but try one or two, have a play. They're quite intuitive, to be honest. And actually, if you're kind of doing all the things I've been saying, then you're going to get better, authentic results. And there's lots of different tools. So if you're looking at content generators, so ideas, copy, that kind of thing, ChatGPT, Claude, Jasper AI, Gemini, they're all really great ones. Copy AI, they're all great. But you need to obviously train it. You need to feed it with the right information. And actually, it's interesting because if you put in the same prompt in all of these different content generators, then you will actually get different responses. So it's kind of nice sometimes to kind of get different ideas, and they all have they're all slightly different in their responses. So see what you prefer, what works for you. And there's lots of different, and I should also say, first of all, AI now is integrated in everything. Lots of design platforms like Canva, all of the advertising platforms. You're not even really using AI tools anymore. You're just using social media design tools that now are incorporating AI. And it's making everything easier, smarter. Your targeting is better. You see it in all the advertising campaigns now across social media platforms. And actually, it's making that targeting much smarter now. So, Canva has always been brilliant for designing content, but now AI is just making everything easier and faster. But yes, if you're looking for images, there's lots of different tools here that I would recommend. Again, don't try to tackle them all. Have a play, have a look. Lots of them are free, or they're not that expensive. It's amazing, the video AI systems now, where you can like HeyGen and Synthesia, you can actually upload text and then it creates videos. You can tell them what kind of video you want this person doing this. There's lots of there's a new Instagram video editing app called Edits. I don't know if anyone's using that. It's brilliant. And now they're going to be incorporating lots of AI within that to make it really easier, and it connects directly to your Instagram account. So it is just making video content creation so much easier and smarter and higher quality. So use the tools, but just make sure that it sounds like you and it remains authentic. And so I kind of mentioned chatbots. Will sit in Instagram when you'll see a chef doing an amazing cooking demo, and they'll say, if you want this recipe, comment below recipe. And then as soon as you comment recipe, you are delivered in your DMs a link to that recipe. Or it might be a conversation that says, oh, this is the best recipe, you're going to love it. Send me your email, put your email down here, and I'll email it to you. So that is a great use of automation, because 83% of people expect an instant response. And it's difficult for anyone to keep up with all of that. So yes, you still need to be having genuine conversations. But for instance, ManyChat is fantastic. You can actually write what that whole conversation in the DMs is going to be. So it can sound like you, it can sound really genuine. You can get links, you can get lead magnets. You can put together a free guide using something like ChatGPT. My top 10 tips for traveling across the world. Let's say if you're a travel agent, or my packing list for skiing, that kind of thing. You can do a great video on ski trips, favorite ski trips, advice on ski trips or what not. Say, comment below skiing and you'll get my free packing list for skiing, let's say. And then they get a link straight through. Maybe you get an email address, and then you can kind of bring them through that marketing funnel a bit faster. So there's lots of different chatbots. Use them, because it just means that audience, that person who is on looking at that post, who wants that course, that product, that book, they want it right away. And if they, don't send them to link in bio, don't send them to a website link, because they get distracted. You need to make sure they're actioning it right away. So it's just one easy comment in the comments, and then they immediately get whatever they need, so they can buy, or they can give you their email, so you can then email them later on. And there's lots of scheduling tools. The best thing is you want to plan your social media content, and then you just want to schedule it. And there's scheduling tools within Facebook and Instagram, Meta Business Suite, that is free. There's LinkedIn scheduling, but there's also Later and Buffer. There's lots of different scheduling tools. And not only, and again, AI is integrated in these schedulers, because it now is telling you, it's looking at data, it's tracking usage, and it's telling you the best times to post, for instance. So you need to use AI to help kind of understand your audience and understand your content as well, and analytics and reporting. It's really important, and audience research. So here's a few, 3 that I recommend, but there's lots. But you really want to understand your audience pain points. You really want to understand, what are their issues? What are the things, the pain points that really resonate with them. And you need to start all of your content actually with a pain point, with connecting emotionally with your audience. That is what gets people to stop scrolling. People need to feel like when they see a social media post that they feel seen, something resonates with them, or it hits on a real issue they're struggling with. So use these AI tools for audience research to really understand what is going on with behind the scenes with your audience. What are their issues and why they need you. That means that's going to make your content able to connect much better, in a much better way. So, again, AI without strategy is wasted time. So AI can save you time, but you really need to have that overall strategy. You really need to understand, who you are. What are your key selling points? What makes you stand out? Who your audience is? What platforms you're on? So that needs to start. That needs to be first. And then, because strategy is your recipe, okay? AI is just helping prep the ingredients, but your strategy is your recipe. So, again, you need to understand, just like if you were running a restaurant, who are the people you want to attract? Who are your potential ideal diners? What kind of food do they like? What kind of music do they like? It's exactly the same with your business. So again, you can use AI to help you research that, like I was talking about. But you need to feed that into AI as well, because the more information you have about your target audience, the better your content is going to be. And you've got 3 different types. When you're looking at your target audience, you've got your kind of current network and clients, you've got those new audiences that you're trying to get out to, and then you've got those all-important influencers. So the people, and I'm not talking about massive beauty bloggers necessarily with millions of followers. I'm talking about the people who are part of the decision-making process for your audience, and how do you connect with them and create collaborations. That is what is going to really help you. And AI can help you research these things. So it can really tell you, those pain points, those where your audience is, what blogs they're reading, what emails, newsletters they're getting, what networking groups they're part of, if they're part of LinkedIn and Facebook groups, what conferences they're going to. I mean, and what conferences should you be speaking at, for instance, especially if you're looking at your personal brand. So, you've got to be thinking about what is that overall brand story, and that could be your business brand, that could be your personal brand. You really probably both, because everyone has a personal brand as well. So you've got to understand what is that story so that you can then feed that into your AI systems. You need to understand kind of why are you different? What are those unique selling points? Are you the most trusted? Are you the most experienced? Are you the most unique? Are you the best value? Are you the most affordable? And then you want to use AI to help once you kind of figure that out. And this has to come from you, obviously. You can, you can do lots of research through AI, but at the end of the day, you are the one that knows what makes your business stand out, what makes it truly unique. And then you want to take that and you want to make sure that you are consistently telling that story over all across your content, because people are only dipping in and out of your social media content. They might see a video here, they might see a LinkedIn article there, they might read a blog of yours on your website, but they might only be reading the first line, seeing the first 10 seconds of a video. So you really need to make sure you're creating a consistent story. And AI can make sure that you have that consistency, that you're incorporating these kind of, I say pick 3 to 5 key unique selling points and make sure that you're kind of consistently telling us that story, so that when at the end of a month or 2 or 3 months, when people are dipping in and out of your conversation, which they are conversations, dipping in and out of your content, that they, if they were going to recommend your business, that they would be using some of the same language. So AI can really help you make sure that you're telling that story consistently. So, like I said, personal brand. So everyone has a personal brand. You may not do anything with it. You might not, look at your LinkedIn profile after you've set it up. You might not be thinking about how you come across on social media. But everybody has a personal brand, and AI can help you. It can help you define your strengths, your core values. And one thing I do when I work with people on their personal brand, I get AI to generate, I say what the business is, who the person is, and then I get them to generate some questions and prompts that will help figure some of the these elements out. So their strengths, their core values. You can also put in your profile handles into AI and ask AI to review it and to optimize it, to look at how those profiles can be strengthened. And you can get it to rewrite bios. Of course, you got to be putting all that information in, but it can really help optimize all of your profiles. Again, we talked a lot about consistency, but it can make sure you have consistency across all the platforms. It helps you discover insights to share. So that might be, on LinkedIn, especially, it's really great to share stats. You got to obviously check that they're correct, but everybody loves a stat. Everyone loves insights. Everyone loves kind of new global trends. That's all. AI can help you with all of that. It can help you create blogs and videos that kind of share your experience and lessons learned in your career. So it can help you find podcast opportunities, speaking opportunities, media that you should be targeting, collaborations. So again, you need to check these things. You need to make sure they're up to date, it's accurate, but it's a really great way to do some kind of that research to get you out there. And get you out there on the right platforms, to the right audience. And engagement, like I said, I told you I'd say engage quite a lot. Engagement is so crucial, but you need to engage strategically. So don't just leave it up to your chatbots. So chatbots are like your friendly maitre d', welcoming you into the restaurant, seating them quickly, answering any questions, keeping the conversation flowing while you focus on great content behind the scenes. But the chef comes out, doesn't he? And he comes in and he has that personal touch. He has that conversation. He targets those kind of special diners. That's the same thing. So you still need to be engaging proactively and strategically with those kind of key influencers, those key opinion formers. You need to be adding that personal touch, still, replying and messaging, and making it, relevant, personal, asking questions, or, oh, it was so great to see you the other day. So they know that it is you. There's that personal touch that you still need to make sure you have in your social media. And then, just like you're, tasting that dish before it goes out, you need to measure it. You need to look at analytics. You need to understand, if your content is kind of being effective, impactful, bringing in sales. You need to kind of measure it. You need to refine it. You need to look at what's working and then repurpose it. And AI will help you with all of that. So if you do all of these things, the result is you will end up with the most authentic social media content that your audience loves. And most importantly, sound like you. And actually, at the end of the day, that means you're going to have more growth and more sales. So I know this was a bit of a whirlwind tour, but if you need any more help, I do have an AI webinar that's on via Zoom on the 12th of June. I have a 6-week social media course as well via Zoom. And if you happen to be in England in the Chilterns, I do a half-day Reels workshop to teach you, and we create video on this beautiful vineyard. So come along, or I do one-to-one bespoke workshops, power hours, advertising. But if anything, I would love to connect. And here are my details on all the different platforms. But if you have any questions, I know I have a few minutes for questions, I think, but I have taken up quite a lot of the time. But I'm really happy. If you can't get any questions answered, please email me or message me. I would love to answer any questions about anything I've talked about today, or I would really love to connect with you all.
Thanks a ton for your insights today. Your take on using AI to boost social media really hit home. So clear, practical, inspiring. I loved how you broke down tools and strategies without the fluff. So thank you very much for your tips, insights, and leaving us with equipped with tools and ideas. So let's turn to the chat to answer some questions. Here I have 3 questions in the chat that come up. So the first question from Edhard. Hi Katie, huge pleasure. What are the directions in marketing, in your opinion, that must be ready to replace by AI?
Yeah. I mean, I think automation, as far as just getting that information, like I talked about chatbots, making sure that people get that information right away is crucial, because people they're too time poor, they're too distracted. So I think you absolutely have to make sure that they're getting a message with that link. You don't want to send them off to links and bios anymore. So I think that automation, that customer service is really crucial. I think I've seen actually the most impact through advertising on social media, that now AI is being incorporated in the advertising, because what it's doing is it is in real time, it is looking at the profile of that person, and it is making sure they see the type of ad that they want to see. So again, when you're creating these advertising campaigns, you now use AI to create all these different text versions, different media, a video, an image, a carousel post, and then you have, different lengths of text, you have different call to actions, and AI now is making sure that, Alina, if you like ads that are videos with short text and certain call to actions, you're going to see that. So I think it means that it's optimizing your ad campaign and your budget. So I think there's a huge opportunity, and it's learning about your audience. It's learning about, they're tracking all of your information. They're understanding, creating these profiles, and you're now able to retarget anyone who has engaged with any of your social media and your website, and then create lookalike lists based on that. So new groups of people you're targeting based on all of that information. So it's just, it's making things like advertising and targeting so much more sophisticated and more impactful and efficient.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So, another question, the question from Anastasia: Can AI be used for image creation for social media? What tools you recommend? If yes, thank you. You mentioned some tools
Yes, I was
as
gonna
before.
say there's a whole list, and this my presentation is made available, isn't it? I was gonna say, so have a look at that list. Um, I do think AI is brilliant for image creation and it's good for editing. I will say though, I know that there's been a trend recently on faceless marketing. So you use a lot of sort of stock images and stock videos and use AI to create these videos. I would only warn that although we have all these amazing tools and we can create all these AI videos, you lose something a bit if you're not using pictures of you, videos of you. So that would be the one thing I would say is that although we have these amazing kind of, ways to create videos, and, if you're looking at, I mean, Hey Jen can create videos that is an avatar of you. So it sounds like you, and it is kind of amazing. Some of them are better than others. Hey Jen actually is pretty good. Um, but I always urge anyone that I work with, and you see this even with bigger companies, that it feels still more personal, that you still need to you need to have the real life as much as we could do all these kind of fake avatars and AI generated videos. You still have to keep your content authentic.
Did you have some experience with Canva? Just realized some tool released tool with AI.
Sorry,
Did you
Canva.
have some experience? Canva, yes.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean Canva is brilliant. Canva is absolutely fantastic. And AI now again is making all of those that image and those graphic content creation so much easier and faster. It is, allowing, for instance, for you to make sure that you have consistent brand colors and a brand experience, in your content and in your images. And it's, has lots of different, it's creating images now as well. I think you don't want to overuse Canva. So I know a lot of times, and that's my word of caution. I think again, it allows you to show up looking really professional, and it raises the quality of your content, as well. Um, and it gives you that consistency that I think we all need, so that when you pop up on any news feed, you're like, oh, that is that person's brand. But I think we're also seeing, again, it's sometimes just doing a video to camera can be almost more impactful than a really heavily edited graphic, I guess. People relate to people in video.
Yeah, thank you for your opinion. So, the question is from Edward. Is AI the right tools to be used in the marketing strategy creation process, or it's better to use AI to deep dive in already created strategy for tactical daily, weekly plans?
So it's a great question. And really, the answer is both. So, yes, you need to be using AI to help you with your marketing strategy. Again, you want to use it for audience research. You want to use it for, to understand what your pain points are, for instance. But then you have got to create that strategy. You've got to really understand, yes, these are the pain points I want to prioritize. These are my kind of key unique selling points that I want to prioritize. So that's got to be done from you. You're the business, the business, but it can help you understand those trends, understand, those analytics. Um, and then what you want to do is, create, and that's a collaborative process as well. If you, with the team, with the business, you want to create that together. And then you want to use that digital strategy and marketing strategy to feed the AI to then create content based on that. So you really want to use it throughout both processes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I absolutely agree. So, one question from Onasa. Does AI help in bidding in ads for
Um,
Google
so
additionally?
AI, it does. So and I'm not, I should also say I don't do Google advertising, but I can tell you from more of a meta advertising because that's what I really teach. And I, it, AI will help you create better content. It is going to help you give you different versions of those different ads, which means, and it's also helping you understand the type of content you need to be creating that is going to get more response. So it's going to help create better content. It's also going to help as far as finding the right people, which means you're going to have better response, which means you're going to, well, more valuable content targeted in the most optimized way means that you're going to be better when you're looking at kind of that bidding process and being able to optimize that budget in the right way. Does that make sense? So is yes, AI is it's helping all of these advertising campaigns do better. I will say what's interesting is that, and I was just reading it again, I don't really teach on Google, but what I was reading, which I think is really interesting and it shows the impact of AI on Google searches, is that now because a lot of people are looking at AI to when they're doing searches for products, it's really now becoming about mentions. So the more products are mentioned, the higher up you go. You're then more likely to be mentioned in that kind of AI summary. So actually, and I thought it was really interesting that actually, so it's less where we're all trying to be at the top of the search list. Actually, you really want to be mentioned by more sources, and so you start to get into kind of PR being a really, which is also my background, but PR being really more essential and more crucial. And also, what I really believe fundamentally is that micro influencers are the future and that social commerce. So, what we really need to be focused on, everyone, is collaborating with influencers, getting people to recommend your businesses. And micro influencers, so they don't have to again be huge, have huge following. But what we really want is other people talking about our business, our products, recommending them. And that's really where I think businesses need to focus.
Yeah, thank you very much for the detailed answer and your opinion on that. And um, yes, just my support says that we are totally agree. It's important for your content to be optimized for AI engines to quote you. And now is the era of AI, so you need to be equipped and just to be aware how to deal with that. Okay, thank you very much, Katie. I can see any other question in the chat. Let me check. Yeah, no more questions here. So maybe you would like to add something or highlight before wrapping up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my to wrap up, I guess I really want to encourage people to first of all not feel too daunted or too overwhelmed, and to look at this as an exciting opportunity. Um, and it's also for smaller businesses. This is going to be the opportunity to scale, to grow without having to bring on 1,000, a team of 1,000. So it's a huge opportunity for small to medium sized businesses, actually, and it's going to free up the time so that you can focus on what you do best or what that business does best. So if you can automate things and streamline those processes, it means you can focus on things like innovation and growth or new business or whatever is going to really make the most difference to grow that business. So yeah, just be excited by it.
Yeah, thank you. Many thanks for your insights. I'm sure the audience walked away with ideas they'll start using right away. So hope to see you again at our future events. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.